Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here with somewhat of an exclusive update on Self-Taught Beauty. I wanted to share it with you guys, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so this update is actually exclusive because it's coming from the not-so-evil stepmother herself. Her name is Alex, and she's been doing a lot of helpful things for Mandy, trying to get her on her feet. And when I saw this update, I don't really know if I would say I was caught off guard, but I did find it intriguing. And for anyone that's been following the videos that I've done, I definitely wanted to share it with you guys. But before we get into it, I want to address one thing. Most of you don't need this addressed, but for anyone that does need a reminder, I want to talk about, is commentary negative? Is making commentary videos a bad thing? Is it just you're a negative Nancy with a whole bunch of opinions and you're sad and miserable? No. Let's read the official definition of commentary first. Commentary is an expression of opinions or offering of explanations about an event or situation. And I would say that I do that quite often on my channel. As you guys know, I've always said that I'm sort of a mashup of a bunch of different stuff. I'm really interested in anti-MLM stuff. I'm interested in giving commentary about family vloggers, beauty influencers, other YouTubers, scams, and also some true crime stuff. I haven't done as much true crime as I have other content, and I recognize that, but I'm also not a true crime channel. It's just something that I have sprinkled in, here and there. And I also still do my beauty content. Is it all beauty? No. Some people want to stomp up and down and be the content police. I didn't say I'm strictly a beauty channel. So let's remind everyone about that. I film what I feel like filming, and I see what you guys like, and I focus my energy on the type of content that people like. And people just so happen to really enjoy my commentary. Now, as far as is commentary negative, I think that it depends on the person's experience and what they watch on YouTube. I realize that if you watch nothing but beauty influencers, a lot of that content can be really positive, and this is pretty and that's pretty and go buy this and go buy that. That's not what I like, and that's what really got me away from watching a lot of the popular beauty influencers, because I felt like it was just a running ad of QVC people telling me what to buy. And I lost interest in it, and I unfollowed a lot of them, not only because of that, but also because the egomaniacs and the consistent just getting into it with each other, I wasn't here for all of that. If you consume a lot of that and you don't explore the opinion side of YouTube, once you find the opinion side of YouTube, it might be, to you, negative. And I think it comes down to perception and what the person views on a normal basis. So I've always made it a point to come to my channel and present the facts to you guys, open up a dialogue, state my opinion on it, and we talk about it in the comments. Now, if you think that that's really negative, then that's your perception, and we're all allowed to have our opinions, as I have mine and I state them on my channel. So if you feel like commentary is negative, then maybe it's not content that you should consume. As far as commentary being just you're a bitter Betty and you have nothing else to do with your time, that argument's never going to, grab my attention or make me think of things differently, because I've always made sure that whether I'm covering Without a Crystal Ball, who doesn't really have a whole lot of people in her corner on the internet, or if it's someone who is more widely liked, like the Ace family, the LeBrant family, I have still made it a point to cover them with grace, even if I'm stating cold hard facts or my cold hard opinion. So again, if you think that commentary is negative, then it might just not be content for you. I love hearing people's opinions. My responsibility and my role for my channel is to make sure that I am staying consistent, making sure that I am not attacking people based on their appearance. And let's talk real quick too about makeup critique videos. I love makeup critique videos, and I do have a background in makeup. I like reviewing people's makeup routines and giving you guys alternatives or a different idea on how to place something, how to blend something a little bit differently. And when it comes to who I cover and who I make commentary videos about, nobody on YouTube is off limits. Nobody on YouTube will ever be off limits. And if you're covering whoever with, you know, logical thinking and what your opinion is based on the facts that you have seen with your own two eyes, there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody, if you're putting your life on YouTube on a normal basis, it is up for criticism, and that's just where I stand on it. Little refresher, Alex has the channel The Not So Evil Stepmother here on YouTube, and she has come for me a couple of times, and I've, you know, kind of ignored it because at the end of the day, I said, you know what, if she's going to help Mandy, then good for her. I wish them luck. I have wished them well in other videos, and I have thought if she wanted to take on that task, then, you know, great. I don't think that anyone has ever said nobody wants Mandy to get a job. You know, Mandy doesn't live in the shed. Like, all of the things that she has shown, nobody was questioning. It wasn't a question of, does she live in a shed? She shouldn't get a job. She shouldn't, you know, have any assistance in getting a job. None of all of those, talk about moot points. Those are exhibit, you know, 1, 2, and 3. So all of those are completely irrelevant. None of the actual concerns or questions have ever been brought to the forefront. Most people still do not have answers for what they were wondering about or what they had issues about. And I said in my last video that my top concern was the welfare of her animals, and that turned into an entire fucking circus. I'm sure most of you are aware, but at the end of the day, you know, I'll say it again, I didn't call the sheriff, and whoever did, at the end of the day, if you see someone, whether it's an animal or a person, be mistreated on the internet, it's that citizen's right to call authorities to have this situation checked out. But again, Mandy tried to say it was me, and she showed no proof or evidence that anyone was even there. And on top of it, if someone went over there, they wouldn't have told her who called. Moving on, I've talked in detail about how Mandy has not really addressed any of the concerns as far as the animals. Nobody asked if they were on orthopedic beds and had food. The issue is that the damage is already done to these animals who have spent the entire winter in a shed with kerosene heat. That was the issue, and it's still not been addressed. And if people want to make me out to be the bad guy for caring about animals, so be it. I will wear that badge proudly, and I will wear it for the rest of my life. The welfare of animals is everybody's business, especially when you're putting your shit out on YouTube. So this little update was posted, let me tell you guys, on Monday, March 29th at 8:45 a.m. This person, Amanda, was asking about a video that Mandy put out, essentially saying, Alex has my donations and I don't have access to those donations. That was the gist of the video. That was the general idea, that Mandy said, you know, she can't force Alex's subscribers to give her the money. Alex has the money and she hasn't seen a dime of it.
There was a couple of comments asking what I've done with the donations that have went to Alex for me. First of all, I don't know if you're not keeping up with her videos. The only donation I've ever received from Alex was for Tara sent her $40 the day that she come out here. I've not got a dime out of any other donations. So for those of you that thinking I've got the donations that were sent to Alex for me and I've just blew through them, I haven't got any of them. Those are Alex's subs that have done that, so I can't tell her subs what to do. I mean, trust me, I'm careful with every single penny that I've ever gotten. So for those who have donated to Alex for me, you know, I even appreciate that too, but I haven't seen any of it. So the comments about what did I do with those donations, I haven't got them. Again, those are her subs, so I can't tell them what to do. My subs, they'll donate straight to me, no questions asked. And I've got some examples of some people. I'm sorry guys, I got to film.
I felt like her tone in that video was pretty clear. However, she did come out and correct it and say that she's been in contact with Alex every day. Everything's going great. She realizes that that money is for a house and not for her right now. Either way, let's read this update. So Amanda inquired, and Alex responds and says, yes, I have seen her most recent video. And I'm just going to be honest, I myself and the people I've had working for me the past month are not happy about it. But before I make a video in response, I will be speaking with her. I do not have time this weekend because my own lease renewal coming up today, Monday, so my family and I have to prep our house for a walkthrough this weekend because all of the time I've spent this month on Mandy and some of her nonsense, lies, come to find out, I have barely had time to deal with my own things in my own life or channel this month. She didn't elaborate on what the lies were, but clearly it's a lie. It doesn't matter what has been lied about. This is an issue and this is a pattern that has been shown, you know, with Mandy during her time on YouTube. And I want to remind everyone, Alex is not the first person to step up to the plate and try to help Mandy. So this is not just this one person has finally come through and decided to help her. Mandy has been offered help similar to this before and it did not work out. It goes on to say, as far as Mandy's videos, she's not being honest with everyone, which I will be addressing and will not tolerate. Not after everything I have done and put my family, friends, and subscribers through for her. She knows we have donations for her, which I have shown in my videos and told her, although I never told her the amount because I don't want her counting on them. They are supposed to be help, not an excuse for her to do, not an excuse for her not to do for herself. And I think that's completely fair. And I offered to pay for multiple Ubers for her to go here and there and get her paperwork done for her license ID, which the ID is done as of me filming this. I offered to pay for multiple Ubers to get the paperwork done for her license ID, which should have been done weeks ago, but she disappeared for 9 days. I have offered, and reminder, Mandy said, I've been talking to Alex every single day, so now we have some differing information. I have offered to pay for her ID and licenses and other things, all of which she has turned down. What Mandy wants, and the reason for that video, was to force my hand and make me hand that $1,600 over to her, and I will not. And I commend Alex for standing her ground. If I'm gonna, you guys, I will be fair. I am always fair. I will give her credit for standing her ground. This is exactly what she said she was going to do. She is doing, and I commend her for that. I told everyone I would be accountable for that money. I will have receipts for where it goes, or it will not be spent and will be returned. So returned to her subscribers. This blue house never came into play until I did the live and said that we had $1,600 in donations, which is what I was afraid of, because now she knows how much we have and is now spending it and doing videos as an attempt to force my hand to give her and give it to her to let her spend as she sees fit. And that was never the arrangement, because to get that blue house, she will have to rent it first, which means if it's $700 a month, then she will have to pay the first month's rent and deposit, then apply for a housing voucher, which can still take time to do. And in the meantime, she will have to pay the full amount of rent or get evicted again. Also, she had a job from a subscriber of mine at O'Reilly's weeks ago, and she never filled out the application, and they ended up hiring someone else, and she would have made a lot more money there than at a grocery store, part-time or even full-time, although they mostly hire on a part-time basis, so I have a feeling it's part-time. And allegedly, Mandy went to an interview at a grocery store around her. They interviewed her despite the fact that they weren't hiring. So supposedly she's next in line. I think that's wonderful. The idea has always been, you know, even Mandy's subscribers, so many of them have offered her a job. Here's where you can go to get work. Here's how you get your ID. There have been resources given to her, and I can't fall back on the she doesn't know how to adult excuse, because this woman has been doing this for 40 years. She has raised kids. She's been running her YouTube channel. I do think that she knows how to adult to a certain degree. At the end of the day, I nor anyone else can tell Mandy what to do or what decisions she has to make. But I will not deal with the games or untruths. Nor should she. Nobody should be dealing with games when the intention is to offer help. I also will not continue to go out of my way for her and essentially co-sign for her if she's going to act the way she's been acting. She has to do what's best for her, and I have to do what's best for me and my subscribers. And I will be holding up my end of the deal, which means that Mandy will not see a dime, because it was never meant to go to Mandy. People didn't donate to Mandy because they didn't trust what she was doing with her donations, and because she hasn't been 100% transparent and honest. This is the history that I'm referring to. I said I would be with any donations that were sent to me for her, and if it didn't get spent on what it needs, it would be returned, and I am a woman of my word. So I commend her for keeping a promise. You know, that's absolutely what should happen. If you approach your subscribers and say, this is what's going to happen, this is the, you know, full intention behind what I'm telling you guys, then that's what should happen. So here's the thing with all of this. I started covering Self-Taught Beauty because I was contacted by one of you guys about her. I offered my opinion. I have never been harsh, mean, vile, rude to Mandy or during my coverage of Mandy. You know, I have stated what I know and, you know, shown you guys what I know. And I've corrected myself a couple of times on things that I had wrong. But I have not been mean-spirited or, you know, just gone out of my way to insult her. So I really don't know where this turned into a mean girl picking on a homeless girl. Like, that narrative just is kind of bullshit to me. Because I have integrity, and I know that I do, and you guys know that I do, most of you. And, you know, if you're a Mandy stan and you're watching this video right now, I would recommend that you go back and watch my old videos and, you know, make sure that you've seen all of my videos before you listen to these detractors who have been making just complete asinine videos that literally bring nothing to the table. It's ridiculous. I said early on, good luck to Alex, and unfortunately it looks like things are going south, and all that this does is speak to the pattern with Mandy, unfortunately. Like I said, Alex is not the first person to offer Mandy help. You know, and I'm not talking about help in the form of a $20, $50, $100 donation. I'm talking about resources and job offers and all of these things. I know a lot of people also had a problem with, since Alex said that she disappeared for 9 days, this is also right around the time when we were receiving stimulus checks, and that was a concern as well. So I don't know, so I'm not going to comment on that, but this has been something that I've been covering, and it's only fair that if, you know, Alex has an update, that I share it with you guys, and that's what I'm here to do. So I realize that this this topic is a little bit different, and I think that it has a lot of twists and turns, and it also has a lot of information that nobody knows but Mandy. I was gonna give her some honest advice, even though she doesn't want my advice, let's be real. If I was gonna give her some honest advice, I would say that all of the concerns that have not been answered need to be addressed. The issue with the animals is still front and center for a lot of people, including me. The problem is that Mandy had, I believe, 8 cats when her house burned down. And she also had cats when she got evicted and allowed those cats to become homeless. So the selfishness comes into play when you're talking about someone who is not in a living situation to own animals and they acquire animals. This is not a scenario where, I've said it before, and I'm sorry if I'm a broken record, you guys, but this is not a scenario where she owned animals, became homeless, and took them to this shed that might not be ideal for animals, but they came with her. This is a scenario of someone who doesn't have the space or the resources to care for animals, acquiring animals. That's not right. And I realize some people will say, oh, well, what is she supposed to do? Take them to the shelter? Don't bring them into your home. And if they're homeless, then what you do is you call the Animal Protection Police and they will take them to a no-kill shelter. Or if you have the number to one of the tons of no-kill shelters, then you call them and they will send someone and pick up the animal. At least then the animal's not in, you know, an enclosed space with kerosene fumes. That is the problem at the end of the day. It's not what kind of mattress are they sleeping on. The kerosene fumes are the issue, and I don't want to hear anything else about a vent or a screened-in porch or anything, because the damage has already been done. These animals slept in there all winter long, inhaling these fumes, and at night, you cannot tell me that she was sleeping with a door open. She lives in a very unsafe neighborhood, and you're not going to sleep with a door open when you have the heat on. That would be like me having my bedroom window open in the middle of January with my heat on. No, it just doesn't work like that. So those animals were in an enclosed space inhaling the kerosene fumes. That is why so many people are enraged by this. So at the end of the day, a couple of you have asked me, you know, am I going to continue to cover self-taught beauty? You know, I've slowed down on my videos, and I realize that a lot of people get really hung up on the number of videos that I've made. I've made numerous videos on a lot of people. They're all on YouTube. They're all putting their shit out on YouTube. They're all somewhat public figures, especially once you have a sizable audience on YouTube. People know who you are. If people didn't know who she was, then it wouldn't have gained as much attention as it did. And I wouldn't have probably been contacted by more than one person inquiring about her. At the end of the day, I stand by my videos, and if and when I need to make a correction, I will. But I also make a point to form my opinions before I come to you guys and just have, you know, diarrhea of the mouth and just say a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense, and it's not cohesive, and it's not easy for you guys to understand. So I stand by my videos, and that's why I am so proud of every single subscriber that I have that trusts me with the content that I'm producing and the things that I say. I always say, you guys don't have to believe everything that I say, but I will give you guys my opinion and the info that I have, and you can do with it what you will, and it is what it is. So I appreciate every single one of you guys, and that will never change. You know, this is an interesting story, and that's why I've made it a point to leave certain things off the table. There are certain things about Mandy I will not discuss because I don't think that it's right. And when you're doing commentary, you have to know where the line is. And I know for a fact there are just certain things that I am not ready to talk about, and I don't know if I'll ever talk about them. If I was really picking on her, then I would have brought those concerns to the table on my first or second video. But I have dignity, and there are certain things that I'm just not going to talk about, at least not right now. So For now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.